Okay, 10th grade, let's try to get caught up a little bit on Romeo and Juliet. I saw a couple of comments, one where the videos on the Bob Jones site are a little long, and I told you that they were, and I told you might have to fast forward through some parts or whatever, but it is a very good explanation. They show some clips, and then they explain, and that is better than I can do. So, I do just, listen through the best you can. Today, I am going to go over your handouts that I gave you to print out and fill in. So hopefully you did that. Just going to point out a couple of things to make sure that you have gotten from your listening to the videos. And of course, it's in your book. You can read it. I told you could watch it on YouTube. There, you can look it up on Spark Notes or whatever it is, Cliff Notes. You can, there are, 5 or 6 different options that you can do to get what you need to get from this play. So let me go over. You do need to know these terms. I'm going to go over these. Comedy, a drama that ends happily. Doesn't have anything to do whether it's clowns or whatever in it, and that it's silly or hilarious. That for a Shakespearean play, a comedy is one that ends happily, and a tragedy is a drama that ends unhappily. It might even have some funny parts in it or whatever, but if it has a sad ending, it's called a tragedy. Shakespeare's blending of the genres, tragicomedies, modern drama genres. Okay, I'm really not interested in that. While these distinctions are generally helpful, they are not all encompassing. Many subgenres exist, and some dramas do not really fit into being a comedy or a tragedy. That's why I'm saying in Shakespeare's day, a comedy, a tragedy. Formal requirements for drama. We're talking about drama here. Acts are major divisions of a play. And in Shakespeare's plays, there are always 5 acts. All right? They often have a unifying theme or serve to accomplish particular movements in the plot or a character, etc. Then scenes, the act, there are 5 acts. The acts are divided up into scenes. They are subdivisions of an act in which the setting is constant in a scene and the time continues uninterrupted in a scene. Dramas may also be written in either prose or verse form. We're going to look at that in just a minute. Prose means just written out, in sentences and paragraphs or whatever. Drama can be written in prose, but it can be written in verse. And that is what is so unique about Shakespeare's plays. A lot of his dramas are written in verse form. We're going to look at that in just a minute. Today, prose dominates in drama writing. In Shakespeare's time, audience expected good playwrights to create scripts with elevated language using the figurative and rhetorical tools of literature. The audiences expected that. The audiences wanted, a high level of script. Most of the script of Romeo and Juliet is in poetry. It is poetry, usually unrhymed, but poetry nonetheless. Some of it, though, is even rhymed. Okay, that's the genre distinctions. Oh, I was on the second page. Ha, sorry. I did the second page before the first page. So if you're even listening, you'll notice that. So let's go. So what is a drama? These terms, these definitions are the ones in the introductory essay. A drama is a story consisting of action and dialogue for what? For stage performance. That's why it's so important that you watch it, or at least watch parts of it. A closet drama is a play written to be read and not performed. If the drama is not a closet drama, what you are reading is the actor's script. That's what you're reading in this textbook. It's what the actors see. It gives them the words to say, and it tells them what to do, and it usually pictures the setting or the props or the stage around them. That's why it's a drama. Drama requires more than just the text to succeed or even exist. Drama requires a what? Performance. Put a star by that. That's why I want you to watch it. It's not enough just to read it. You have to see it. Drama requires action. It requires a performance on a stage. And if you do not have a stage, you kind of have to perform it or imagine it in your mind. The structure of the theater, we have a picture frame stage, a platform stage, theater in the round. I'm not going to go into that too much. Let me just, hold on just a second. Let me see. Aha! I did find it pretty quickly. Shakespeare's plays were performed in the Globe, the name of his specific theater that he had built for his plays. The Globe Theater. All right. So it has a part of the stage that juts out into the audience, so the audience goes around it, and it also has platforms that rise so that, you know, the action can take place in different levels, and the people in the audience can still see it. But a lot of it, if you have looked at the YouTube version that I showed, that I don't know if I put a link to it, maybe I did. You can look on YouTube for this version. That took place at the Globe Theatre in London, and so that the stage looks very much like that. Now, let me go quickly. Let's see how much you got from the story of the first act. Remember, let's see, I want to do something else. I'm going to use the back of this paper. Shakespeare's plays have how many acts? 5 acts. So the acts, when you're talking about them, are written with Roman numerals, and they are in your book. Like if you're looking, I'm on page 348 right now, you see Act 1. And then you have the prologue, and you have Scene 1. When you're writing them out, you'll do like Roman numerals for acts 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then usually the scenes are written in lowercase Roman numerals. I'm not sure if they are, like Scene 1, Scene 2, Scene 3, Scene 4, and so forth. Okay, quickly, let's see if you got the main idea of Act 1. What are the two sides in the fight that breaks out in Scene 1? It's the Montagues and the Capulets. It is a feud between these two houses that has been taking place for a long, long time, and they hate each other. And that's why Romeo, who is a Montague, and Juliet, who is a Capulet, they do not want them. They cannot fall in love. They cannot get married. And you can remember that Juliet is a Capulet because they both end in E-T. Even though, yeah. So, why are these groups fighting? They really don't know. It's just a long-standing family feud. Whom do Romeo's parents ask to speak with Romeo? And that would be Benvolio. He is the character that is Romeo's best friend, Benvolio. He's a peacekeeper, Ben. Remember Benny, benefit, beneficiary, beneficial, Ben. Just think of him as being a nice person, a generous person, a kind person, one who wants to keep the peace. Benvolio. He's Romeo. Romeo and Benvolio, they're friends. What is troubling Romeo? He's in love with a girl, but she does not return his love. This is at the very beginning of the play. He's in love with a girl named Rosaline for about 2 minutes, okay? She does not return his love. And so Romeo's parents ask Benvolio to talk to Romeo about this. Who wants to marry Juliet? A guy named Paris. And that's who her parents want to marry her. Whose party do Romeo and his friends attend uninvited? They crash the party of the Capulets, and it's a mask party. Everybody's wearing masks over their faces or whatever, and Romeo and his friends show up. What did Juliet's mother and the nurse ask her to consider at the party? they ask her to consider marrying Paris. Which of his friends, Romeo's friends, makes fun of Romeo's emotional state? That would be Mercutio. Who is upset by Romeo's attendance at the party? Tybalt, T-Y-B-A-L-T. If you, the cast of characters is on page 347. It's divided up between the Montagues and the Capulets. All right, and Tybalt, you'll see, is Lady Capulet's nephew. It's Juliet's cousin. He did not like it one bit that Romeo was at this party. And then what important event happens to Romeo at the party? Did you get this? You need to get this if nothing else. He sees Juliet one time and he falls in love with her at the party that night. And she sees him, she falls in love with him at the party that night. That's one thing about this play, Romeo and Juliet. Boom, 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 boom. Everything happens in like 2 or 3 days' time. Like within one day, within one 24-hour period, they decide they love each other and they're going to get married. I mean, and Juliet is very, very young. Okay, we might see that. Let me look at one more thing today. Look at page 348, the prologue, just to show you how that Romeo and Juliet is written in verse, a lot of it in poetry form. The prologue, spoken by the chorus, as a single actor who summarizes in general terms the play and comments on its moral significance, is a sonnet. What? It's written in 14 lines, rhymed lines. It's a Shakespearean sonnet. Look at it. Two households, both alike in dignity, in fair Verona, that's the setting where we lay our scene, from ancient grudge, a long-held feud, break to new mutiny, where civil blood makes civil hands unclean. From forth the fatal loins of these two foes, a pair of star-crossed lovers take their life, whose misadventure piteous overthrows doth with their death bury their parents' strife. The fearful passage of their death marked love and the continuance of their parents' rage, which but their children's end not could remove. That feud was not going to go away until these two died. Is now the 2 hours traffic of our stage. In other words, if we watch the whole play, it would take 2 hours. Not as long as it seems. The which, if you with patient ears attend, what here shall miss, our toil, our acting shall strive to mend. Look, dignity, mutiny, scene, unclean, A-B, A-B. Foes, throws, life, strife, C-D, C-D. Rage remove, stage amend. I think I got something off there. No. Love, remove, rage, stage. That's E-F, E-F, and then attend and mend, G-G. Look at that. 3 quatrains and a couplet. You have rhymed, iambic pentameter. 2 households both alike in dignity. Iambic pentameter. Pentameter 5. In fair Verona where we lay our scene. From ancient grudge break to new mutiny, where civil blood makes civil hands unclean. Just put that down there. It's a sonnet. It's rhymed, iambic, pentameter, and that's just one example. There are several sonnets throughout this poem, throughout this drama. I will try to point them out to you. Okay, so I covered some things from chapter 1, and I'll do some things from chapter 2 tomorrow. You keep up. You watch it. It does you no good to listen to me if you don't watch it. Kind of follow along with your book as you watch it. Put questions in the comments so that everybody can see. Have a great day.